Dear students, welcome to my online video class. I hope you are keeping safe, staying home, and I am also fine. Today, you know that all the educational institutions in Bangladesh are closed for COVID-19 disease, and you know it's a pandemic disease. It's heavy pangs and weight is spreading all over the world, and it has also grasped all the economic development, all the countries including Bangladesh. And the students, you know, for a long time your reading has been hampered and we have nothing to do except taking online video class, and that's why I'm also here to take our today's class. Our today's class is connector, and it's necessary for class 9 and 10, and it's the class of class 10. Dear students, today's topic is connector. You know, connector is very important because in our day-to-day life we usually talk to anybody, and at the time of speaking to others we use so many connectors in our speaking side and also in writing side. So this chapter is very essential in our English second paper. Dear learners, what is connector? Connector is a linking word. Connector is a word which connects two clauses or two sentences. It works like an conjunction because it's a conjunctive word. Okay, dear learner, and it connects with the previous sentence, and also it connects two clauses between two clauses, and it helps to increase our language, to increase our knowledge of communicating English. So dear learner, today we will learn definition of connector. So I can write here connectors is a word or phrase. Sorry, connector is a word or phrase, you can say, or phrase that connects clauses or sentences. Then I have written the definition of connector. Connector is a word or phrase that connects clauses or sentences. Okay, dear learner, it helps a student to understand the full context or a paragraph, because in writing a context or a paragraph we need to use some connectors to maintain the balance of the paragraph. That's why connector is very important in writing area, also in the speaking area. So dear learner, today we will learn position of connectors. Position, because where can connector sit? Where can connector sit? A connector sit in four areas in a sentence or in a phrase. Okay, dear learner. First of all, end position or first position. First position of connector. Position of connector. Today we will learn position of connector. There are so many connectors. Dear learners, there are so many connectors in English grammar. Now I am writing at first some of the connectors, such as however is a connector. Also, actually is a connector. Then finally, okay, dear learner, finally is also a connector. Moreover, meanwhile, secondly, etc. etc. Okay, dear learner, there are so many connectors in English grammar. Some of the names of connectors have been written on the blackboard. Now, dear learner, I will discuss about the position of connector, because where can connector sit? Actually, a connector may sit in some position. Position of connectors is of four kinds, such as front position, on front position, front position, because in this area connector can sit at the very beginning of the sentence, because it sits actually before the subject. This type of connector. There are so many connectors like this can sit before the subject or before the sentence. So now I am writing on the blackboard the example of front position. Now I am giving an example such as I know the man, I know the boy. Actually I want to help him. Look at the example, front position, because the connector must sit before starting the sentence. because the sentence starts with the verb I. I want to help him. This is also a sentence. I know the boy. Actually, I want to help him. This is another sentence, and this sentence connects with the first sentence. So, actually is a connector. And you have noticed that actually sits before starting the sentence. The sentence starts, we normally know that sentence generally starts with subject in case of assertive sentence. When assertive sentence starts, subject must sits at the very beginning of the sentence and it sits before the verb. So, as usual, I want to help him. This is also called assertive sentence because subject I and after I the verb want. So it is the structure of assertive sentence. And in this sentence actually is a connector of front position because this connector sits at the very beginning of the sentence. So it is called the form of position of connector front position. Okay, we are on a front position because actually sits in the front position. Okay, there are so many connectors like actually those sit at the very beginning of the sentence. When connector, when connector sits at the very beginning of the sentence, it is called the connector of front position. Okay, they are front position. You must mind it. You must remember this, that front position a connector may sit at the very beginning of the sentence. Next, I will go to discuss mid position. Front position and then mid position. Well, Anna. Mid position. Mid means middle. Mid means middle position. Here, connector may sit in the middle of the sentence because in this area the connector may sit after the verb or before the verb, and this is called mid position. Now I am going to give an example of mid position. Suppose he will go to a picnic. Next sentence, I will also go with him. Jalana, look at the example. I have written two sentences. Suppose he will go to a picnic. He will go to a picnic. This is the full sentence. And the next sentence is I will also go with him. I will also go with him. Jalana, look at the underlying word. Also sits between the principal, between the auxiliary verb and principal verb. Okay, they are under principal verb, and in the middle of auxiliary verb and principal verb also is a connector. Also means may sit in the middle of two verbs. One is auxiliary verb and two is principal verb. And you have noticed that I will also go there and also go with him. Also sits in the middle of the sentence. It is also in the middle of the sentence. Such as I will and go with him, and in the middle also sits. So it is called a connector of mid position. Okay, dear learner. So you must remember, you must keep in mind that when we want to write a connector in the middle of the sentence, we must know the principal verb and auxiliary verb, and also you must know the knowledge of finite verb. You may write connector in the middle of auxiliary verb and principal verb. So it is called the connector of mid position. And now we are going to discuss another type of position of connector. Dear learner, third, end position. End position. And in this area, we may write connector at the last portion of the sentence, because I want to write an example of end position. End means completeness. End means eventually. Because in this area, connector may sit at the last position of the sentence. So now we are going to see the example of end position, such as he has got two prizes. I have got a prize too. Dear learners, look at the sentences. I have written two sentences. One is he has got two prizes, and another sentence, I have got a prize too. Because there are two persons here, he and I. He said he has got two prizes, and I also said I have got a prize too. Two is here at the last position of the sentence, because there is no word, there is no letter after the word two. So two is called connector because it connects with the first sentence. Okay, the learner, it connects with the first sentence, and so it is called end position because two is situated at the last position of the sentence. So two is called a connector of end position. So let the learner, now I am going to give another type of classification of position of connector. Next and last of all, I will discuss the position of connector, and that is mixed position. Mixed position because in this area we may write in the middle, but not accurately middle in the sentence. It may sit after the verb or before the finite. So now I am going to gives another type of example of mixed position. Suppose I ate fish and meat. I also ate curd. Here also two sentences. First one, I ate fish and meat, and second one, I also ate curd. And also is a connector. We have known about the connector before. Also is a connector, and it sits not in the middle and not at first. So it is called the connector of mixed position, and it also emphasizes on the sentence with the another sentence. So this kind of connector sits not at the very beginning of the sentence and not in the middle position of the sentence. It sits in the mixed position. So this type of connector may sit in the mixed position. Okay, dear learner. So learner, we have discussed, we have learned 4 types of connectors today. 4 types of position of connectors today. First of all, front position, second, mid position, third, end position, and fourth, last of all, mixed position. These 4 types of position of connector may be seen in different types of sentences, different types of paragraphs, or any composition in English literature, English grammar. And that's why we must know the idea of position of connector. If we cannot acquire the knowledge of setting the position of connector, we may gamble, we may mistake in our writing area. So, dear students, you must be conscious of using the position of connector in your exam, so that it can help you to get a lot of marks in the examination, because this area can cover 5 marks, though the mark is very little, its velocity is very high. So you must learn the grammatical item, and it will help you in later life, in your student life. Okay, dear students. Now we will learn some specific connectors, a specific classification of connectors. Okay, dear students, today we will learn some specific classification of connectors. First of all, one, adverbs as connector. Adverbs as connector. Adverb is a name of part of speech. We know that there are 8 part of speeches in English grammar, and adverb is one of them. It's a very important part of speech in English grammar, and its using is of many kinds. There are so many rules and items of using adverbs, and adverbs may sit as connectors in sentences. And now I will give so many examples. And before I explain this item, I have also given a lot of examples of connectors, and they are also adverbs. And again, I am going to give so many examples of adverbs, such as however, then, actually, also, finally, instead, letter meanwhile, letter is also an adverb. Meanwhile, secondly, so, therefore, etc. Dear learner, I have written so many examples of adverbs. First of all, however is an adverb, then is an adverb, actually adverb, also adverb, finally, instead, later, meanwhile, secondly, so, therefore. There are a lot of examples of adverbs, and these adverbs are usually used as connectors in sentences. We have learned, and the example of using the adverbs in sentences are also very important, and I have shown you their uses in sentences. And next, another type of classification of connectors. To phrases. Phrases as connector. Phrase. We know that a lot of phrases in the grammar, and there is no end of using phrases. And in the grammar, phrase its uses are very remarkable. And now today, I am going to give some examples of phrases, such as to begin with. To begin with is a phrase, because phrase is a group of words which indicates a particular part of speech, and it may be used, or it may be made of one word or two words or three words or many more words, and used only as a single part of speech. So to begin with is a phrase, because there are three words in this phrase, and it indicates only one part of speech as part. Okay, so it is a verbal phrase. And next, to conclude. To conclude is a phrase, because here there are two words. And next, to conclude, it's not an example of phrase, it is infinitive phrase. I made mistake here. Phrase is, it is infinitive, it is also phrase, but it is infinitive phrase. I will go there next. And phrase is, suppose in the meantime, In the meantime is a phrase. And in fact, it is also phrase. In fact, it is also phrase. As a result, phrase. As a result. Phrase, because as a result, three words in a phrase, and it indicates only a single part of the sentence. As a result, in addition, in conclusion, in addition, in conclusion, in conclusion, in short, it is also phrase. In short, etc. So many. On the other hand, also, on the other hand, is also phrase. So there are so many phrases like this in English grammar, and you must find so many examples of phrases in advanced learners grammar translation and composition written by Chaudhary and Hussain. This book is very popular in Bangladesh. You may a lot of phrases in this book. Perhaps more than 1,000 phrases in this book. So you must read these phrases again and again to remember, and in our day-to-day life you must use some of the phrases where you need and where is necessary. So these phrases are very helpful to our day-to-day life to learn much more English in English grammar. So dear learners, we have learned two types of classification of connectors, and there is also another type of name of classification, and its name is infinitive phrases connectors. They are learned. 3. Last of all, infinitive phrase as connectors. Dear learners, infinitive phrase. Phrase is of several kinds, such as noun phrase, adjective phrase, verb phrase, adverbial phrase, prepositional phrase, conjunctional phrase, interjectional phrase, and also infinitive phrase must be discussed in English grammar. And infinitive phrase works or used as infinitive. Infinitive is a form of verb, and before the verb we must add to, such as I want to play. I want to play. This is a sentence, and to play is infinitive. To play is infinitive, and infinitive word or infinitive starts with to before the word. That's why infinitive phrase also starts with to before the verb, and also there are some words after the verbs, and it indicates infinitive form. Okay, dear learners, I will give an example or many more examples to begin with. To begin with, dear learner, you have noticed the example. There are three words to begin with. to is situated at the before the verb. Begin is verb and to is preposition used as infinitive because it sits before the verb. So to begin with, it's an infinitive phrase. And in this way, to conclude, it starts with to conclude. To start with, this is also phrase because this phrase starts with to before the verb. So this is infinitive phrase. There are also another type of example to start with. Because the phrase begins with the preposition to before the verb. To start with. It is also infinitive phrase, and this phrase is used as infinitive, so it is called infinitive phrase. So to sum up is also a phrase because it starts with to preposition before the verb sum. So so many phrases in English grammar of infinitive phrase. And we must use this phrase in our writing area, in our speaking area, and many other places in the country and out of the country. When we communicate with other people of the world, we must use this type of phrase, infinitive phrase. So, dear learner, today that's all from me. I will discuss the infinitive, the connectors again when we will meet again. So today is my class ended, and I hope will be benefited. You must be conscious of using these connectors in sentences because connectors is a vast of knowledge. And you should have a vast of knowledge of English grammar. Then you may solve the problem of connectors. And today's today is a very dangerous day because we are passing a crucial moment through the COVID-19 disease, and I again make you conscious of using mask when you go out of houses, and you must use hand sanitizer again and again, and you must make conscious of your parents, of your elders, of your younger, so that they can maintain health rules and hygienic situation, so that we can get rid of this disease. And always pray to Almighty so that He can save us from this dangerous disease. Okay, dear friends, and thank you all.